Hi everyone, welcome to today's show, September 3rd. It's a Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you for joining me on the immigration Q&A session we do every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday live on TikTok, Immigration Lawyer John. Thursdays live on Instagram, JQK Law Firm, and the YouTube page where a lot of you watch this, JQK Law Firm's YouTube page. Please click like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notifications for our daily videos, clips, and educational information about the U.S. immigration process. As always, this is just general education only. You should consult with an attorney about your case to get case-specific guidance, but we like to just generally talk about stuff here, try to answer some questions about what's going on with immigration in the United States. As you all know, it's a pretty crazy situation. A lot of things are happening, constantly moving, and we don't really know what's going on a lot of times, but we're trying to figure it out. I was on a phone call with one of the field offices today, and they're somewhat confused on stuff as we are because they're not getting the guidance, and they're just trying to bring it all together. Obviously, COVID-19 has been really stressful and it's shooking things up, so we're trying to do with that, and furloughs and hiring freezes and all that kind of stuff, which means delays for your case. So when it comes to questions about how long things will take, that's an unknown. No one knows. It's just the future. And if you could, guess the future, you should go and buy some stocks or do that kind of stuff, make some money with it. But having said that, let's get it started. All right, thanks again for joining us. I'm John Khosravi, immigration lawyer headquartered in Los Angeles, California. And I help people from all across the world come and live in the United States. And I'd like to do this regular Q&A session to talk immigration with all the fans. And we have a lot of people join every time. And so you get a good kick out of it. And so before we get started, people come in. So the big questions popping up with USCIS are the future. What's going to happen? Well, as I mentioned in the intro, the furlough system is not happening, but they are underfunded, so they're having difficulties doing stuff. On the other end, the government's making things much more difficult. There was a leaked document that said they want to add biometrics, meaning fingerprinting appointment notices for financial sponsors, the I-864 sponsor, joint sponsors. They too have to do a biometrics. Who knows why? Hopefully, get sued on that if it happens. But it's wild that they want that to happen. In addition, doing iris scans and more DNA testing of people, it just creating a lot of additional cost, hassle to make it really unforgiving and difficult to go through the immigration process. And that's the goal of the administration, unfortunately, to really just create hassles for foreign people. It seems don't like foreign people at all. It's really surprising to have that mindset in America, other than a minority, but it seems like a powerful group in there had this belief. So it's a nightmare that we're dealing with. We'll see what happens, but we got to fight them each step of the way because it's just not fair, it's not smart, and it doesn't really help our country in any way. It just makes wise people, really strong people, investors, entrepreneurs, adventurous kind of people not come here. And when you look at the history of America, it's those kind of people that have made us strong, and I welcome them, and that's why I'm here to help you out. Come here because in my belief, I'm helping the country become a better place, which is, I think, factual. So thank you for joining. Feel free to shoot out your questions as they pop up. I'm sure there'll be questions about how long things take, but let's see. Olivia asks, are H-1B transfers from one employer still possible, or are they paused? No, they were never paused. It's still possible to do what's called an H-1B transfer. So it's a new employer taking over your H-1B. If it's done possible, it's no problem. They've gotten more strict on it. So I've seen more RFEs, meaning having more questions and more denials in that sphere in 2019 and 2020 than ever did before. But it's never stopped. Now, potentially, if you leave the United States, you may not be able to come back in for now. But if you had an existing visa, it probably won't apply to you because they fixed up that travel ban situation that I just briefly referred to right now. I'm not going to go into. But yeah, if you have a H-1B and you have a qualified employer that could take over, yeah, give it a shot. Mr. Sakar says, is there any issue going on with the marriage-based green card work permit I just filed 115 days ago? No, there's no issue. Just got to wait for it to happen. DARPA asks, what do you think about the lawsuit that is filed for immigration ban? When will be the ruling? You never know. With federal court cases, stuff could take forever, so I can't tell you when that'll happen. We just have to wait for see what happens. Adia asks, hi, I've heard that some embassies are not doing interviews due to COVID. Is this true? Yes, some embassies are closed. Some embassies are open, but only doing certain types of visa interviews. So that's the situation. It varies. MFA says, I was engaged to my fiance last December. We were planning to get married this November, but due to COVID Is virtual marriage an option? If you're together in person and you're getting married in California and there's a witness there, yes. But other than that, no. That's called a proxy marriage if you're not at the same place at the same time. And you have to consummate that relationship. In essence, after you get virtually married, meet each other in person and document that for that marriage to become valid. If that happens, yes, I wouldn't recommend doing it. I'd recommend just meeting each other, getting married, or just doing the fiancé visa process. They are doing renewed attention to fiancé visa cases, so it is possible that they'll open that up, but that's the situation that you're dealing with. Sorry, it sucks. You have to be separated from your loved one even longer. Dar Patel asks, what do you think about the lawsuit? Well, actually, we did answer that already. Well, thanks for the question, though. So yeah, speaking of marriage immigration kind of cases, well, Kadi asks, can you get married in Baltimore and file in New York? Yes, as long as you're married lawfully wherever you're married, you could file wherever you are. And if you wanted a lot of good information on this, I wrote a free ebook. It's a detailed ebook about the marriage and fiancé visa process, 40 plus pages. Go to www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. You have to add that www in the beginning. It's www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook, and you have the ultimate marriage green card ebook emailed to you, and it'll break down a lot of the process, so you'll know the strategy and what the terminology is and all that's involved. So if you decide to hire a lawyer, you could go in with knowledge. You're not going there blind. You know what's up, and that's gonna help you a lot. So check out that ultimate marriage green card ebook or guide. It's at www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. Olivia follows up, so the travel ban from UK to US is now lifted? No, the travel ban for UK to US is existence. Depending on the work you do, you might be able to get a waiver. I recently got a waiver for a UK national, but the travel ban has not been lifted unless it happened in the last 10-20 minutes I don't know about. It's still there. Click asks, what do you think of the future of DACA is? I don't know, it's not up to me, it's up to other people, but if you're a DACA person, just try to do your best to make a lot of money while you can on your work permit. Practice your foreign language skills in case you need to go back to your home country, and just hustle, and just try to figure it out. Unfortunately, it's a bad situation to be in, but you got to make the most of it. My MFA says, frustrating, thanks for the info. You're welcome. Yeah, it's terrible. All these delays, just COVID-19 itself, plus the travel bans. It's just a nightmare for couples. It's made life really difficult. All right. Asan asks, I filed an I-130 case for my wife 2 months ago and haven't received the approval letter. I don't know how long, but 2 months is too short. Be patient. Be very patient. Go to uscis.gov. They have timelines over there, so you go check it out. But 2 months is nothing. You got to be patient. All right. Lekwak, thanks for following. Human says you will get COVID-19. Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully you get it, but not me. It's a weird comment to make, but that's what happens when you have an open forum. Khosravi, thanks for joining. We're not doing live videos, but thank you for coming on YouTube. So the situation is that travel bans are still there when it comes to China, Brazil, the Schengen region, the EU, UK, Ireland. And there are waivers possible for it. You can go to another country and wait it out for 2 weeks, maybe 15 days to come. This stuff are there, but it's there. David says, hi, what does it mean when we transfer your case? Well, it depends on what context you're saying the transfer is happening in. I'm guessing you filed the case that was pending, and then you get a letter saying your case is transferred to another service center. Essentially, it's just the place it was. They're too busy to deal with it, so they try to send it to another place that was less busy to hopefully get to your case. Okay, Khosravi, it's good to see you too. Good to see you again. Thank you. And but yeah, so case transfers hopefully will make it faster, but it's a lot of unknowns, so the timelines are really bad. You just gotta wait and be patient and see what happens, and try to just keep yourself busy. In the meantime, maybe start a YouTube page, start a TikTok page, and talk about what you know, so you can share that information with other people. Keep yourself busy. MFA says, but currently I have a B1, B2 visa. Is it possible when the travel ban is lifted to get married in the USA? That there's issues involved with what your plan is. Depending on what country you're from, I don't know what country you're from, so it might not be a travel ban with the B1, B2. You could fly in, and you can get married in the United States. They may. Okay, let me break it down. So you're not allowed to come to the United States with a tourist visa with the intent to apply for a green card here. Tourist visa is saying I'm going to come to US temporarily, and I don't plan on staying there. I'm just going to come and go. Now, if you do, you can get married. You technically can get married in the United States on a tourist visa, but you always have the risk at the airport when you enter and they find out you're trying to get married, that they'll be afraid you're coming to stay, not actually being a tourist. You're coming here to stay, and they could kick you out, send you back home, or even give you a 10-year ban or multi-year ban or something like that. So it's a very risky thing to do. I don't recommend it. But if you do come on a tourist visa to get married, that's fine. If something happens where you're forced to stay against your original intention, it may be okay too. But you should really just consult with an attorney to plan that out to make sure it's not something illegal that you're doing that's going to be problematic or misrepresentation or fraud that could cause a lifetime ban in the United States. That stuff does happen. You have to be very cautious and not to do something or misuse or abuse a visa that was given to you. So be very careful of that stuff. We got to analyze to see what you said when you got your tourist visa, where you're from, what your plans are. There's a lot of analysis that have to happen. But you could come here, get married, leave, and then just wait for the green card. There's some issues with that. Some embassies I've seen have problems with that too. So you have to pre-plan it. Maybe contact the port authority at the airport. Let them know you're coming to get married and that you're going to leave, so it doesn't look like you're lying. And the embassy later doesn't accuse you of misrepresentation at the border. So there's a lot of nuanced stuff that happens. It seems easy, but I've just seen some disasters happen. So that's why I just be cautious and talk with a good lawyer. Aslan says, my mom is 60 years old. She doesn't speak English. Can I apply for her citizenship? She has a green card. Well, she could apply for her own citizenship, but you know, it depends on the situation or language. Is there a mental incapacity issue that's caused this? How long has she had a green card? If she had it long enough, maybe they'll be a little more easygoing. Maybe she could just learn a little bit of English and work. I've seen that happen. So, you know, it is what it is. Kadi asks, how much does the entire filing for spouse cost? Well, the government fee right now is $1,760 if you don't need a waiver or 245I exemption or that kind of stuff. They're going to be increasing the filing fees. I mean, the work permit and trial permission fees are about like $450 each or something like that. That didn't exist. That's happening October 2nd. There'll be a slight decrease in the actual $1,760 that I said earlier. But how much the attorney fees are depends on your case. You got to consult with an immigration attorney and see what's going on. And that's that. User 590 asks, I'm in the US, I'm a US citizen and I want to go to Pakistan and meet with my hubby. Is there a risk to go? US citizen could do it. Unless, I mean, if you're not going to go do like terrorism or something like that, no, I don't see what the risk is for US. Now, what the risk is for you in Pakistan, I have no idea. But as a US citizen, unless you're doing really wild stuff, you can come and go. Trump said they might like ban US citizens from entering due to COVID-19. I think that's impossible and illegal to do. So I can't guess the future. But right now, it's not a problem. Tomorrow, I don't know. MFA follows up, thank you too. I'm asking it because my fiance is trying to get me to do this and I don't want to. Just consult with the attorney in private, have this discussion. I mean, consult my office, info@jqqlaw.com is my email. We do a video consultation, talk about it. There is a fee for a consultation. Email me and I'll tell you what that is. You know, it is what it is. You got to talk it out and see what the appropriate thing for you to do is and take it from there. But I know it's hard being separated. Your fiance is probably going nuts too. You're going nuts. It sucks. Aslan says, 10 years, brother. Anyways, thank you. God bless you. Yeah, the 10 years is not enough. But yeah, unless you get a doctor that says your mom can't mentally like learn the language and stuff, that is that. You're welcome, user 590. So yeah, the citizenship issue, you know, for U.S. citizenship, you got to be able to speak English and basically write English. It's not too complicated. They'll ask you like, the president is Mr. Trump, and you have to write that. It's not too complicated. But it is what it is. Sunny asks, hi, how long are your I-751 cases taking? Anywhere from 2 months to 2 years. Adia says, since COVID, has any spouse visa interview have been dropped and have got a visa? If you have any info, yeah, there's people who got green cards and from embassy and from, it depends on where you are, who you are, what your background is, but yeah, it has happened. Shaizu says, hello to you too. Kadi asks, where can persons find good immigration lawyers? We found one right now. But, you know, check the internet. You know, I have a video on YouTube. Go to JQK Law Firm YouTube page and have a breakdown. It's a 20-minute video I did just breaking down how to find a good immigration lawyer. So go to YouTube, go to my page, find like 8 steps to finding a good immigration lawyer and watch that. You know, it's captioned too. You can read that along with it. And I break down how I would find a good immigration attorney. You can check that out. And that's that. Watch the video. It's the best way to do it. Let's see, Ebro asks, 2 years and waiting. Well, once you hit the 2-year mark, that's not good. You know, these take a while. HR Patel says, how long does the I-765 approval take? Can I work with it? Can I work with it? Thank you. Yeah, I mean, maybe 6 months, longer, shorter, I don't know. Kadi says, are you in New York? No, I'm in Los Angeles, California. Ibrono asks, 2 years, I'm waiting for my wife's green card interview. What I need to do? I don't know. I need to see more of your case to see what's going on. You need to consult with an attorney in private and go over your case to see what's going on. Maybe there's nothing you can do. Maybe there's something you could do. Maybe you file a lawsuit. Maybe you made an error somewhere. It could be a lot of different things. I can't really answer that from where I'm sitting right now. But that's the thing about these cases. A lot of different parts to it, so you got to watch out for all of it. And then there's a lot of just mistakes that happen too on their end. So we have a case right now for no reason. It's 5 months that we're waiting for no reason because the government made a mistake and they won't admit to it. And so we got a congressperson involved today. Congressperson emailed us and said, USCIS said that mistake is ours. So I sent him a copy of the application to show, like, well, we didn't make a mistake. But that really offended me. It's like, dude, like, you made a mistake, just cop to it and fix it. Audio says, thank you so much for being helpful. You're amazing. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. US Dream says, how long it takes to get a green card through EB3, employer-sponsored visa for the Philippines. I don't know the timelines for Philippines. I have to check the charge, but it could take years. But if you got a case like that, who cares about timelines? Just talk with your lawyer. I mean, it's not a place to come here. EB3, you're going to have an employer. The employer has a lawyer. They should be able to break down what the process is for you in particular. I don't have the charts in front of me. I haven't done an EB3 for a Filipino, so I don't have that handy on me. Check the visa bulletin. I'll give you an idea. Type in visa bulletin in Google, and the first link that should come up is from the Department of State. They'll have a bunch of charts there. Check out EB3 for Philippines, and that'll give you a general estimate. It's not consistent. It could change drastically. But who's getting a green card for EB3 category from Philippines at that time, at that month? Could go faster, could go slower. It's not consistent, but that's where you would go and check that kind of stuff. So yeah, the visa bulletin, for those who know, is in the U.S., unless you're getting a green card through marriage or through being a parent of a U.S. citizen or minor child of a U.S. citizen or maybe asylum, there's a limited number of green cards given out for each category. So all of a sudden a backlog emerges because a lot more people are filing for these green cards than actually they have green cards for that given year. So to see where you are in that line, there's a thing called the visa bulletin. They see when you started your case, what date that was, and that's your place in line. And then the grids they have on the visa bulletin help figure out where it's going, who's getting it now, so it gives you an estimate of where you are in line. But that line goes back and forth drastically. Now, Nasim says, can you file for citizenship while I-751 is pending? Yes, you can. If you're living and married and living with your U.S. citizen spouse, yes. Some lawyers say no, but they're making a mistake. It's possible. Aflai says, can a green card holder apply for her spouse? Yeah. It's called the F2A preference category. Right now it's current. So it's actually that line I talked about a second ago. It doesn't exist for F2A category, spouse of a green card holder. They do go a little slower on it nonetheless, but you can do it, and that's the typical kind of case that my office handles. For that kind of information, really just download my Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook. It really breaks this down, and you could sit at home with your fiance, spouse, talk about it, each have the ebook for yourselves. You go to www.marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. Again, that's www, you got to include that, marriageimmigrationlaw.com/ebook. Download that. It's 40 plus pages, 41 pages. Read it, review it, and then schedule a consultation with an attorney once you have that knowledge and you know what's going on. Kadi asks, how soon after marriage can you file for a spouse? Immediately. I have cases where people go overseas and get married, and I say, okay, as soon as you get the marriage certificate, translate it, and then email it to me, and I'll immediately file the case. We have everything prepared. Nadia, I'm not doing live Instagram. Can't get into personal lives too much on these kind of things. Maybe in the future I'll do it, but not right now. But thank you for trying to come on. Let's see. 111 Singh asks, I have an EAD, that's work permit from asylum case, and now I got an EAD from VAWA case. Do I need to update my social or need new? Right now, from VAWA case, so it doesn't really matter right now until you get your green card. Once you get your green card, then you want to update them. So for asylum, once either you get your full asylum status, you tell the Social Security office, or on VAWA, once you get your green card, you want to update it with the Social Security office. U.S. Dreams follows up, time period for Philippine citizen getting a green card through EB3 is less than Indians. I can't read bulletin. I don't know. I don't check that particular category. I haven't had those cases. So, you know, just ask the employer who's hiring you. They'll tell you. Afala says, thanks. You're welcome. Adia says, can you please recommend an immigration lawyer in Illinois that you know him or her? I don't really usually recommend other people, especially if I don't know your case and who you are. So just follow that video I did. Now, if it's like a marriage case or a lot of different kind of cases, you can hire an attorney anywhere. So like Kadi asked, would you file in New York, although you're in LA? It depends on the case, but I do. I filed cases in Connecticut, Florida, New York, Texas, Seattle. The reason why I'm sitting here, I'm at home right now in my backyard. when COVID-19 happened, it didn't affect me because everything I do essentially just requires me to mail stuff to the government. So the location where you're at doesn't really matter for the case I handle. Now, maybe you have a case where you need to have a lawyer there with you. You have a court case, for example. I don't do those cases. So, you know, email my office, let me know what the case is, and if it's something I can handle, we'll do a consultation. My location doesn't matter. Again, I mail everything to the government or email them or stuff like that. So yeah, I follow a New York case, unless it's really messy and you need a person to hold your hand and be there, but most cases don't need that. Now, CMAS, do you recommend waiting for an approval from I-751 for filing citizenship? I mean, if your I-751 is not good or your marriage is kind of shady, or not shady, shaky, yeah, but it depends on your case. I can't recommend anything because I don't know anything about you to be able to say that one way or another. So that's why you really need to consult with an immigration attorney, have a relationship with them to help you with that. US Stream says, okay, thanks, you're welcome, thank you. Deepak asks, I-130 interviews are waiving or not? It depends on what kind of I-130 it is. So if it's a spousal case, probably not. But if it's a non-spousal case, parent of U.S. citizen stuff, sometimes they waive it. It happens. My parents of U.S. citizen cases are usually waived. So, you know, when an I-130 is a green card application for a family member. And so some of them require interviews if they're in the U.S. If they're overseas through the embassy, they always do an interview. But in the U.S., sometimes they'll waive it. Nadia asks, hi, I'm a citizen. Hi, my citizenship son applied for his father, and after 2 years of interview in Abu Dhabi, we're still waiting. Well, the situation with Abu Dhabi is, I'm guessing you're Iranian family, you get stuck in administrative processing. Normally you sue them. Right now, because of COVID-19, things are stalled, but you still may want to sue. So contact an immigration lawyer that does lawsuits and maybe look into filing a lawsuit for them to do it. It sucks, but that's the situation. Nassim says, thank you very much. You're welcome, Nassim. Thank you so much for coming on TikTok and asking questions. But yeah, this is the situation, and right now the embassy in Abu Dhabi is pretty much not handling things, so I don't know what to tell you other than, you know, look into filing a lawsuit so once they open up again to force them to act. Maybe they could act right now. I mean, they could still issue visas even if no interviews are required. But then again, if the father went to his interview 2 years ago, his medical is expired, a medical checkup he do. So we'll have to do another medical, submit that, maybe another interview. It's a mess, but, you know, have an attorney to help you out with that. Nick asks, how long does it take for U visa after you apply? It takes many years. 111 Singh asks, why my asylum court date gets postponed automatically for the last 4 years? Because they shut down the immigration courts due to COVID-19, so they're postponing things. They say they're going to reopen September 14th, but that could get postponed again too. Deja vu, Edwards, ask all questions here. Yeah, I guess Deja vu. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so these delays are baked in the cake right now in the immigration system. Sometimes you can file a lawsuit, it's expensive, you know, people get worried about it. It's nothing to worry about really, but sometimes you got to sue the government to get them to act. That's just the way things work now. Even before Trump, it was like this, but now it's just even more ridiculous. So it sucks when you got to wait all this time to get your life started and stuff. So I feel it's a messy situation, but you know, what are you gonna do? Just try our best to do everything right that we can, and then hope for the best, because a lot of it is out of our control. That's why in immigration you can't get guarantees. I have straightforward cases where we're fighting the government for nonsense, real nonsense kind of stuff. I just had to spend extra hours and hours yesterday responding to a request for evidence. They're saying, like, we didn't send birth certificates and divorce records for this married couple. But the couple's 22 and they never been married before, never had children. In the forms we stated that. So they sent an RFE, that and some other garbage. So then we got to respond, but it's just like, this is what we're dealing with, unfortunately. And so no matter how clean a case is, it's never an easy case. And I get this all the time. People call me, I have a straightforward, clean case. I'm like, there's no such thing. You know, it's just, you know, one thing to take about police, when I was younger, I used to go on ride-alongs with police in the US and America. So, and there's a saying that we have, is a routine traffic stop, like a routine traffic stop. So it's when you pull someone over and just like the typical kind of pull over, get a ticket. But one thing is, when you're a police officer, you pull over somebody, and this is really, you know, in the light of everything that's going on in America right now, you never know what that person's going to do. They could be angry, they could pull out a gun, they could start attacking you. So it's like, there's nothing routine about it. And it's the same with immigration. You never know what's going to happen. So Tanya asked, how long does the embassy take to make an interview after qualified? It depends on your case, it depends on the embassy and how busy they are. So there's nothing routine about it. I can't really answer that. And especially with COVID-19 allowed them shut down. I need to know which embassy you're working with, your background, if you're subject to a travel ban, and even then, it's up to the embassy whenever they get around to you. They might have some background checks they need to fix that's taking longer. Mohammed asks, I petitioned for my wife in May to come to the United States. How long do you think it's going to take? I don't know. 11 says, I got my green card today. Oh, congratulations. I want to say wonderful. Make sure to take a photo of the front and back of it, have it. Make sure to notify the Social Security office that you have a green card now. So if you had a restricted work permit, you fix that. If you got your green card through marriage, be careful for if it's a 2-year green card, to file removal of conditions. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you can maybe file for citizenship after 3 years, or most probably after 5 if it's not based on, you haven't been married to a U.S. citizen. So there's a lot of things you gotta be mindful of. There's a couple more. Hopefully, I had an attorney that just watched out for you and stuff. But congratulations, getting a green card is a big deal. Once you get citizenship, it's an even more big deal. It's a very emotional moment when you have these oath ceremonies. A lot of people get really emotional with it. It's awesome. But congratulations, glad to see that. Thanks for joining, Nassim. Good to see you. And hope we got some crew on Instagram. M Rules asked, 3 weeks already since my interview. Apparently nothing wrong during interview. 3 weeks already. Yeah, you gotta wait. Sometimes it takes a month. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 months. It is what it is. I know it makes you anxious, but it is what it is. Source says, hi sir to you too. Thank you for joining us on TikTok, Immigration Lawyer John. We're also on Instagram, the JQK Law Firm, or JK Law Firm, I think it's the Instagram name. If you're on YouTube, you catch this right here. Definitely, subscribe to the YouTube page for those watching on TikTok. If TikTok goes or Instagram goes or whatever it is, YouTube is where I store all this, the video of this, along with clips and other kinds of videos that I post that really don't fit within TikTok or not really Instagram either. Sometimes you have it like an hour video. M Rule says, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, M Rule. I appreciated joining and watching on TikTok. Chanty asks, what's a faster fiance visa or marriage-based visa? It depends. Generally, a fiance is a little bit faster, but not always. But there's other factors you got to take into place. How much government bureaucracy you have to deal with, how much extra filing fees there are, how much delays for your future spouse in the United States to get a work permit, to get trial permission. So just speed is just one thing to learn now, but you really got to analyze the whole thing to make sure it's something that's appropriate for you. So what I recommend doing is downloading the free Ultimate Marriage Green Card ebook guide at www.marriageimmigration.law.com/ebook, and that'll break down what I'm talking about, and you could just sit and study it with your fiance in your homes and just on your own computers at your own time. That'll break down what's going on with that situation. Sunny asks, hi, is Fresno field office sending out I-751 approvals with your firm cases? It's been 8 months, 8.5 months. 8.5 months is nothing. So I don't file with Fresno office too much. I have one marriage case there. I usually deal with San Jose, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Santa Ana, Orange County, San Bernardino, San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, San Diego. Fresno is just pretty much the only office in California I don't really deal with. I just have one marriage case that I submitted there. But 8.5 months is nothing. So be prepared to wait twice that. Sean asks, everything is going worse. I have a green card but want to visit India. Is it safe? I don't know. I don't know anything about you to say whether something's safe or not. I need to know about your background. User 314 says, my party date is March 20th, EB to India. Anytime, any guess when time will come? No, I don't guess here. I only talk facts. So maybe try some other channels like to guess at things, but it's your life. You don't want your doctor to be guessing at stuff. You want to talk about facts. The only thing I can say is be patient. And I know it sucks to be from India. It's a long delay. Dinesh says, hi sir, hi to you too as well. Thank you for joining us, Dinesh. Let me know what cities and countries you're joining from. It's interesting to see how far the reach of this is. Usually it's mostly people from America. You used to have a lot of Indian people until India, kicked out TikTok. But yesterday was cool. We had Connecticut. We had all over America, really. It was fascinating to see, and we learned a little about where they're from, what's going on in the hometowns over there. It's fascinating that we could do this live stuff all over the place together. Eventually I'll probably bring my guitar out here and play some music while we're doing this. Maybe hold the guitar and talk immigration. If that doesn't look weird, I might try to do that just to make it fun and play some Led Zeppelin for y'all. So if you're into classic rock, you'll be in for a show. Afia, I'm from New York State. Well, wonderful, wonderful. Good. Thanks for joining. Right now in New York's 8 o'clock, prime time over there. Very informative. Thank you so much, Afa. Let me pronounce it right. Afiahi. Thank you for joining. TikTok front, share the current. Thank you. Dinesh says, we're getting EDD. Kindly tell me when we pay tax. Do we need to show some out W-2? Dinesh, you need to ask an accountant about that. I'm an immigration lawyer. You come to the wrong place for that kind of information. That's tax advice. I don't touch it. I don't talk about things I don't know, well about. I'm not an expert on, so I don't want to talk about that. But we got a couple more minutes left. If y'all had some last questions to throw in there, let me know. It's Afia High. Oh, Afia High. Okay. Okay, on TikTok, puts it all in one. Afia High. What is the background? What is that name? Afia High, or is it a word? What does it mean? But yeah, again, we're here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, all day on TikTok, Immigration Lawyer John. Tuesdays and Thursdays on Instagram, JK Law Firm, but on Wednesdays on YouTube. I might add a third camera and just add YouTube over here every day. Someone told me if you do live on YouTube too much, it's not good for your, YouTube algorithm, but We'll see. I might just do it for fun, but we got all these cameras. So if you see me looking sideways, this and that, it's 'cause I'm looking at different cameras. I have different apps. If I add YouTube, I'll have the laptop right there, so I'm gonna look left, right, up, down, get a 360-degree angle or something like that. But all right, everybody, if there's one last question, let me know. We're gonna end it. I do have other videos I do record on my off days, but they're really just focused on one area. You could catch those on the JQK Law Firm YouTube page. I have one where I spent 20 minutes talking about how long things takes, 20 minutes about what documents you need, what a fiancé visa is, all this kind of stuff. Arabic name, Afia from Afiat, and Hai from Al-Hayu. Well, what does it mean? Afiyat, I mean, I know you say that when someone sneezes in Iran, but, and hi from Al-Hayu, I don't know what the second word means, Al-Hayu. Valorosa says, I applied for work permit, how many days I receive receipt? Hopefully in a couple weeks you'll get a receipt, and then hopefully a couple months later you get the EAD, and that's about it. Soros, thank you so much for all you do. Thank you so much. Soros, if y'all enjoy this, I would appreciate it if you go to Google, type in my law firm's name, JQK Law Firm, and then Google will bring up my reviews and stuff to the right-hand side of the screen. Please just leave a nice review, a 5-star. You don't have to even say anything, just leave a 5-star. It helps me out a lot, and it really, you know, I'll do this stuff more and more fun when it helps my office, so it gets me more engaged too. So I'd appreciate that if you have the time, not mandatory, but thank you a lot if you do. But I guess with that, I'll see you all on Tuesday. I'm here on YouTube. You can ask comments there. I don't always answer all the questions on the comments on YouTube, but you can catch me there as well, or if you want to schedule a consultation, it's info@jklaw.com. Thank you, Stores. I appreciate that. Y'all be safe. God bless, and we'll see you all Tuesday. Bye-bye.